C'est la raison pour laquelle la communauté internationale doit prendre des mesures concrètes pour mettre fin à cette situation.
Since June 10, when we have experienced that aggression, which of course caused quite a number of deaths and others who have sustained a lot of wounds from all sides, from both sides, we have pulled out our troops to a certain number of kilometers from the border. They did also initially. Unfortunately, they came back to the area, and now they are occupying everything, and they have recaptured all the areas, including our own, that we pulled out from. So our position is very, very clear. We wanted to pull out of the forces, the disengagement of the militaries, to give peace a chance, and so that dialogue and peaceful overtures from both sides can be entertained. And that is why I will address the Council this afternoon to lay before them these issues and to insist on the full pull-out of the forces to their status quo ante and for peace to take a chance.
Très bien, en tout cas, voilà ce que j'avais comme déclaration à faire. Je vais laisser les ministres des Affaires étrangères pour voir si vous avez des questions, pour pouvoir répondre à toutes les questions que vous souhaitez. Et je vous remercie encore une fois de votre attention et de votre présence. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for your presence. I wanted just to give you this preliminary presentation. The Minister of Foreign Affairs will take over now, and he will deal with all the substantive issues, including answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. شكرا مع رئيس الوزراء. شكرا كثيرا. مع السلامة. مع السلامة. سيد السفير. Foreign Minister, would you like to say something?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his statement and welcome His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Djibouti, to answer any questions you may have on the issue of peace and security in the Horn of Africa. Did you want to say anything in addition, or will you go straight to questions?
I think the Prime Minister has briefed the audience, very thoroughly. So if there is any question, I'm ready to take them.
Let's open as usual with a representative from UNCA. Who will that be? Matthew? Go ahead.
Thanks. On behalf of the UN Correspondents Association, thanks to the Prime Minister and also yourself for giving us this briefing on this topic. Sure, I'm Matthew Lee, Inner City Press. The Prime Minister mentioned, he used this word deserters, and that's a question that's can you give us a sense of, in this clash that occurred, whether Djibouti is holding any Eritrean troops, and if so, how many, and if the International Committee of the Red Cross has been able to visit them? And then also, if you could address, some people will say that behind, one of the factors behind this was Djibouti's role in hosting the talks on Somalia with one faction from Asmara and with the transitional federal government. If you could, do you acknowledge that, or what do you think of that? Thank you.
Yes, we have defecting Eritrean soldiers that came into our country. And actually, the first shooting started when these elements from the Eritrean troops started to flee their positions and into our positions. And then, of course, the Djiboutian troops, were compelled to respond. But that was the first clash. But the number of deserters or defecting soldiers has been growing since the Eritrean government sent troops to the border, and in early February. And since February, I think we have almost 100 and maybe more defecting soldiers. And of course, when on the 11th of June, when the offensive and the attack, took place, there were casualties. It's natural. People killed from both sides. And also they took also prisoners from our side, and we have also some prisoners from their sides, and that's the second incident at the border, the 11th of June, and the clashes continued until the morning of the 12th of June, and then they stopped. And we, of course, our government implemented the presidential statement by pulling out its troops inside the Djiboutian territory. And the Eritrean troops, took advantage of that situation, and they captured more land, and they strengthened their positions on Ras Dumera and the island of Dumera. And so by this act, they refused automatically the provision, stating that both countries should withdraw their troops to the statu quo ante. As far as the Somali Peace Conference is concerned in Djibouti, of course, the peace deal we managed to reach with the Somali government, negotiating with the opposition, is not seen by the Eritrean government as a step forward in the political process we are trying to start up, for Somalia. But that's miscalculations, because even though Eritrea is trying to keep Ethiopian troops in Somalia, and maybe they think that that will help them in other fronts within their strategic positioning in the framework of this open war with Ethiopia. But that's not the only reason from our point of view. We think that there are many other explanations, and one of them is that they have tried in 1996 to take that position because it's a very strategic one. Ras Dumera is just looming over the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and that's a very frequented maritime route, and it's a very narrow, water. And they tried in 1996, but the international community at that time response was so strong that they were forced to retreat or to withdraw their claims. But now I think they entered this adventure because they feel that the international community maybe is doing nothing about their own case with Ethiopia, or maybe also their divergences with the United States, which has a base in Djibouti also, can be one of the explanations of their aggression. But anyway, we left all that to the Eritrean government, but they don't want to respond to any of our diplomatic action or diplomatic move towards them, bilaterally or on the multilateral level. So far, we didn't get any answer, any response to our good offices, to our attempt to dialogue. It's a stalemate. It's a deadlock. We are just stuck at that place.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Alex Bachstein, representing Richard Roth from CNN. We were wondering, what is Djibouti's opinion on the events currently happening in Zimbabwe?
I think it's not the topic of our press conference, but anyway, I can answer that. I think we need very quickly to get out of this stalemate. We need, that the best condition for election should be restored, and we hope that the political process in Zimbabwe will be very soon put on rail, because we need that. Otherwise, we are heading to a civil war, and that's what the international community would like to prevent or to avoid in any case. That's a question to be answered to the Zimbabwean people.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. And may I remind you that the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Djibouti is here to brief on peace and security in the Horn of Africa, and specifically the situation between Djibouti and Eritrea. Yes, there was a hand in the back there, please.
What concrete action do you expect?
Could you speak up, please, because we can't hear you.
I'm sorry?
I can't hear you again. Could you speak up?
Yeah. Go back from the beginning.
Yes, go ahead.
Jean-Victor de Figaro, what concrete action do you expect from the Security Council on the particular situation?
At this stage, we need the Security Council to mandate the Secretary General to send a fact-finding mission to both countries and to the site of controversy. and then the fact-finding mission may,